Mm. 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 I have to bit my nose there. So Philosopher Stoner 666 here. Making a video. Having my dessert. Pick my nose some more. Anyway. Just give me a minute. This chocolate bar is pretty bomb. Real good. Oh, yeah. So I want to start off with a shout out to someone who leaves comments on my videos. Not her real name, but Lynn Harrison. She recently donated to my channel, to my PayPal account, $20. I just wanted to say thank you very much. It's much appreciated. It's great. I never started this channel ever to make money, and I never thought in a million years that I would ever get a donation. And in fact, it's the very first time I've ever gotten a donation, so I'm quite pleased with that. But as I've said before, my intention for this channel was always just as a vlog, a sort of video journal, to do videos on whatever topics I felt and hobbies that I had. And like I said, just for fun. I never became a YouTube partner. My channel's not monetized. And frankly, I don't really give a shit. I honestly don't think that my videos lately have been very good. Most of my videos are kind of so-so. That what I'm doing here is not that monetarily valuable. Again, it's just talking. It's just ideas. So anyways, thanks again. So I've been reading a lot of stuff and watching a lot of YouTube channels and other things related to the current economic situation and this COVID-19 virus, or the Sars Covid-19 virus. And please leave a comment with your email, and I will email you two things, and I'll indicate what those two things are. The first thing is I will send you a leaked document, a U.S. government document that goes into detail of all the contingency plans and emergency plans related to this virus, where they discuss, martial law, food rationing by the government, and how they anticipate this COVID-19 situation to perhaps last 18 months, that the virus could come in waves, all sorts of very interesting information. And it was recently leaked, maybe a couple of days ago. And now the future is uncertain. Nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. But I'm going to get into a lot of stuff that I don't think what we're being told by the media is the whole truth. And I'm unsure of what to think of these days. So anyways, leave a comment. If you're interested, I'll send it to you. The second thing is leave a comment and indicate if you're interested in receiving information about how to obtain a graceful exit. Now, I've talked about this in some of my other videos. I've obtained new information now. And like I said, I will, if you're interested in it, I will send it to you in an encrypted email. Now, I do not have the information myself. This is secondhand information. It's basically, I'm not sending it to you personally. Someone else is. I will let this other person know to send it to you. But just indicate if you're interested. So yeah, moving on. So I've been reading lots of stuff about this virus and the economic situation. Emendum, in his new channel, Emendum Videos, has been making a lot of videos on the economic situation, and I believe his analysis is spot on. Once again, I've delved into the subject in a couple of my previous videos, and I won't go into it in detail again. It's sort of been done now ad nauseum, but very interesting how the right wingers talk about the Federal Reserve and printing money and the bailouts and all that stuff, and he sort of goes into more detail and a better analysis of what's really going on. So I encourage you to go check out his videos, Amendum videos. The second thing, I've been following another YouTube channel, Shaun Attwood. He's an interesting guy. He used to be the king of ecstasy dealing in the United States. He's originally from the UK, and he did business with a guy called Sammy the Bull Gravano, who was a famous rat in the Italian-American mafia. He was with John Gotti. Interesting guy, runs a YouTube channel, talks about all sorts of weird subjects, like the true crime stuff, the Jeffrey Epstein case, which is now being sort of ignored by the media now. It's old news. Satanic ritual abuse, all sorts of weird, obscure, occult topics. Whatever. Interesting videos. So he did a recent video, an interview with a guy called Dr. Paul Cotrell, who also has his own YouTube channel. In his YouTube channel, he comes across as being a little bit shaken, disturbed, a little bit crazy. But in this interview with Shaun Attwood, he was very articulate and intelligent. And the gist of what he said is that this this COVID-19, it shares characteristics of SARS, HIV, MERS, the swine flu, the bird flu, everything in the genome sequence, the DNA sequence, that it is almost like copy paste, that it is most likely statistically improbable, very statistically improbable, that this thing occurred randomly in nature. He sort of says that it's 65-35, 65% in favor of it being a bioweapon. And he doesn't have enough evidence to argue 100%. And he has no evidence to argue, whether it was released intentionally or unintentionally. There's a lot of conspiracies going around about how Wuhan, where this virus originated, had a bioweapons lab. So anyways, it's an hour-long video. Very interesting. He also delves into another doctor, Dr. Francis Boyle, who is another, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but there's videos, if you search his name, where he talks about the same thing. Now, Russia says that it's a bioweapon. Iran, certain politicians have claimed it's a bioweapon. I honestly don't know who to fucking believe anymore. But this is clearly not just an average, ordinary flu. This went from being like 3 months ago an obscure topic, then just in a couple of weeks, the stock market crashing and countries on lockdown and whatever else. I went to the clinic today to drop off a spit sample to a place where they collect, blood samples, urine samples, all that sort of stuff. And there was a guard, a policeman with a gun in full regalia, wearing a face mask and a face shield and all that. And a medic, again, in the same thing, in like a hazmat suit kind of getup. They took my sample, they screened me, I used hand sanitizer, all that stuff, and very intimidating. And we're talking about my country, Canada. We don't, we're not gun nuts or whatever. Like, why there needed to be a policeman with a gun there, I don't know. I don't know. Something dark is going on. That's just my intuition. And again, it's just my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. But like I said, what's going on with the economy and what's going on with this virus, it's very dark. It's what I talked about it before in my previous video. It's a combination of group psychology as discussed by Charles Mackay and Ernest Becker, where he discusses the denial of death, and it's just this awareness of our own mortality and survival instinct and group hysteria. I don't know what to think anymore. Who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I read a lot. What I have learned, I'm a philosophy major and I have a BA with honors from the University of Toronto. What I learned in philosophy is study everything. Study all the extreme opinions, no matter how wacko it seems. Study everything. Get everybody's opinion. So, like I've read, I follow all the people and I've read most of the stuff, like communists, socialists, Ayn Rand, right-wing libertarians, the right-wing crazy Christians that believe in the Illuminati and the New World Order. I've read, Hitler's Mein Kampf. Excuse me. I've read all sorts of nutty, crackpot, nut job stuff all across the political spectrum that I do not discount anything. That I personally believe that from the extremes of opinion, you can discern the truth, picking and choosing what to believe and going across the ideologies. And like I said, sort of cherry picking, that the truth will sometimes be in the middle very often, but you can start to see, if you study enough, a lot of commonalities in certain ideologies, a lot of common themes and ideas and all that sort of thing. So it's, like I said, it's important to study everything. So that's what I'm doing with this virus and the economic situation. Be a free thinker, think for yourself, and with these dark times, it's important to remember that, I believe, the government will do its best for a while, but at the end of the day, the big banks, the big corporations, the government, the international global elites, whatever, do not have our best interests at heart, and we are on our own. Since we are in now technically another Great Depression combined with the Spanish flu, in the next coming weeks and months, things are going to get dark. Very dark, very ugly. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Is it the end of the world? No, not necessarily. That all remains to be seen, but it is the beginning of hard times. And people do not study and remember history. People thought there would never be another Great Depression, and here we are. So be prepared, as I've said before. Whatever you can afford, whatever you can do, be prepared. Buy some cans of beans, a bag of rice, maybe diversify, pull out your investments from the stock market, buy gold, buy silver, maybe wait a while and buy real estate, and educate yourself. Read all sorts of different news outlets and opinions. Don't be ideological. Don't, attach an ideological lens to everything. Try to be as divorced from that as possible, from these labels that are arbitrary and the definitions and terms change, right? Like liberal, conservative. These definitions have changed throughout human history. Conservative meant something very different, what it means today compared to what it meant 100 years ago. Be an independent free thinker. And I believe this is how I arrived at antinatalism, was I paid attention to all the extremes. That chocolate bar is making me want to burp, but I can't burp in a video. That's not respectable, right? So anyways, yeah, I'm going to throw some more names in the description box of this video, and you can go check them out at your own, like I said, take everything with a grain of salt. It's the internet. There's a lot of wacky opinions out there. Apply, your own critical analysis, do your own research, but like I said, be prepared. I believe the future, at least for the next little bit, is going to be pretty dark. So, like I said, yeah, be prepared. Um, I guess that's enough of a video. Philosopher Stoner 666 out.